there's so many men with them on the road now, and if you walk past them and brush your shoes, the man want dirty at the same time.
Inspiration, education, lifestyle and motivation. Let's go on a journey. Life lessons with Jason. Tell me, are you ready? Hello.
Welcome to another Life Lessons with Jason. Today we're outside, and let me say this video is sponsored by Wine Up Pizza at 4A Lady Musgrave Road. Yes. Today, as you can see, we have the ever-present, the ever-booked, the ever-busy. Alright, let me list them out. He is a fashion designer, an event producer, a radio host, a podcaster, a YouTuber. Yes. He is just everything and too much. Everything and too much. We have KAREEMBWOYATINZ here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So thank you for being a part of Life Lessons.
Come on, anytime. Thank you for having me.
So, for persons who are viewing, today is viewed as International Men's Day. Right. And I wanted us to have a conversation. I recall seeing a tweet of yours on October 10th. Yeah, that was World Mental Health Day.
Right.
Yeah. And you were talking about, for persons who know you would have struggled with anxiety, depression. And for persons who don't know, mental health has to do with your psychological, your emotional, and your mental state pretty much. Right. Everything, how you think, how you act, how you feel. That's your mental health. Mental health, KAREEMBWOYATINZ.
Yeah. I did an episode on mental health, by the way, for my own YouTube channel, for my podcast.
Drop the link below.
Yes, well.
Let's see right there.
Yeah. And it's funny because previous years, mental health wasn't anything that I really took serious. You know, life did nice and life sweet and everything. I mean, yes, there were earlier signs. Now, being that I'm now aware of what exactly it is, from I've been smaller, yes, there were earlier signs like extreme mood swings. Just normal Jamaican people just like, oh, yeah, mood swings, whatever, pretty normal. But whilst I was only an event producer, when I realized that these things were happening, I used to use partying and going out a lot as a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Apparently. So this is me now realizing this. No, going to therapy, no.
So you're going to therapy?
Yeah, man, I get into that.
All right.
So I use partying and going out as a coping mechanism, apparently. And I used to go, anybody know me knows I'm going to go like five times a week. Literally. Sometimes I was 7 times for the week back then. But I couldn't explain what exactly was happening. But something happened last year that literally changed my life. I'm going to speak on this one day, but I stopped working, and I was working for 6 years, and I was forced to leave the job, basically. So, you know, that took a toll on me. And, you know, financially, mentally, physically, everything
just came.
Yeah, man. And I just kind of realized that it was more often like I was in like a dark place. Like, I never talked to anybody for days and weeks. I didn't eat. And I couldn't explain what exactly it was. To me, I was like, oh, maybe I'm just going through life, and I just wanted a break.
Pause there, so I think, let me interject to say, you thought you were going through life. As men, as Jamaicans, what do you think about the Jamaican society and men and mental health? Because I'm assuming there are other persons who are going through the same or similar things, and they feel as though it's okay, it's just normal.
Let me tell you something. Society tells us that we should be very strong, and strong in our minds. We don't
show emotions.
And anybody know me, I'm not an emotional person. You know, I don't, trust me, I'm not emotional any at all. But society, for black men, especially for our Jamaican culture, we're not taught about mental health, any at all. So when we go through something, your parents always tell you, yo, tough talk, man, and just go on through. You understand what I'm saying? Not knowing that in the long run, those 1 or 2 mood swings and those 1 or 2, I'm just in a dark place, I just want a break, affects you months and years after, and then you basically is like, yo, how did I reach here? Not realizing that it was from those, yeah man, trust and believe me, I tell you.
Because some of the things that you go through now are as a result of what you faced in your childhood years.
Believe you me, I tell you.
So, the Jamaican, what are your thoughts on the Jamaican society now and men's mental health? I know, I must give credit because I think if it's 1 year where I've seen talks about this year. So we are aware somewhat, but we're not there as yet. So what would you like to see ideally? Your thoughts on it now?
Right.
And what you think it should look like?
We have moved
we'll make some progress.
In a very sensitive time, no. And I think that because we're all going through it now, people can understand what people were saying before about mental health. we're making progress, but it's still not normalized enough. And that is the reason I did that episode of my podcast, because I believe that we don't speak about it. You know, it's not being taught in schools, it's not being taught in our homes. Who do we talk to? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're going through something in the yard and just go through it by yourself. And I hit that, and it's not gone, you know. Just pushed on the rug and just
how dare you as a man to say I want to go to therapy?
Listen to me, man.
Hello. You cannot say as a man that you want to go to therapy. Why is it so wrong to want to be
because Jamaican men, especially Jamaican men, and if anybody's watching this as a man, and if you want to tell me, if 10 men right now can tell me, say yes, growing up, they were so in touch with their mental health or their family have spoken to them about it,
no.
Gotta come. No. Because I'm gonna tell you something, man. When I decided that I was going to go to therapy, I spoke to a couple of my friends them and family members, and they said, dog, you need a therapy, man, you're just extra. You understand what I'm saying? And yes, I'm very extra. But at the end of the day, I knew what I was going through. You get me? And
you want to help?
Trust me, when I started therapy, man, some things that I've discovered to myself is things that has happened. Something could be as simple as somebody just stealing a pencil in prep school. And that has had a trauma since then till now. So, trust me, I would implore everybody to try. Speak to somebody.
Alright, so we see you on social media looking, you know, everything nice, everything boy clean. I've on the fur coat and
it's a fur coat for me, right?
And everything, but as a public figure, and I would call you as a social media influencer. Yes, that's what you are.
Okay.
How do you grapple with mental health and being in the public space? Because I know the more you're exposed, the more persons want to know more about you, the more persons want to connect, the more persons want to be in your life, the more persons want to be around you, whether their intentions are pure or not. So how do you manage your mental health? When you want, can you take a break if you want a break?
Here's the thing though, if you know me, you know say, one thing about me, I'm going to take a break. Miss, I'm taking a break right now.
Taking a break.
Nah, me personally, I've always been.
Believe in that?
How I've always been, like my friends know that. If you call me for one whole day straight and they get me, you know say I'm good, but I'm just in the mood for talking.
Yeah.
Professionally now, you know, I have a radio show and I shoot my podcast and I do all of that.
Trending every week on Twitter, guys.
Yes, Boyatings after that.
Alright, after that.
So I have a radio show and I have obligations, you know, I have staff and stuff like that, so I can't just get staff and assistants and be excited. But seriously though, I can't really take a break as I would want to. Like yesterday, well, this week, Tuesday, it was my radio show day and I was going through it mentally. It was one of my most off days in recent times. And I was going to cancel the show. But you know you have obligations, you have work, you have to do it, and you have to know, go up on the show and put on a good show. Nobody else can pretend as if everything is, and then you leave work and you go back to your problems.
After putting on the face, how do you get to the problem? How do you get to the root of the problem?
I have some little things that I've been doing that has been working for me. When I started therapy, she asked me what is that I've been doing to try to circumvent this whole thing. Cool? I start my mornings very positively. That is very much important. I tell people this every single day.
Start your day is very
Start
important.
your day, trust me. Every morning, I'll play a sermon. And they may even look at me as, you know,
nice.
But yeah.
Christian upbringing, boy.
But every morning, I play a sermon, play some gospel songs, I say a prayer, or I read something positive to start my day. That helps. Talk to somebody. You must have one digga person in your life who you can be like, yo dog, you know, like today is just one of them days. Because sometimes when you don't talk about it and you bottle everything up, that's when it gets worse.
Yeah.
So my therapist always tells me that the more you attack it in the moment, live in the moment, you're good.
Did you ever have a time where you found that your actions, or what things you were saying you were doing on the outside was a spill off of your thoughts? How did you realize that? And how did you try to correct it? Was it still therapy as well?
Therapy. And that's why I say therapy really works, you know. Okay, so sometimes if you're not dealing with something or you're handling it, really until you're not.
You just sweep it under the rug.
I just said something to me. She said sometimes we tend not to live in the moment, especially as men. We have so much pressure, right? I think about providing for our family. We're thinking about our society. Say we're supposed to be successful by this age. We're supposed to have a vehicle and a house and
everything by this age.
So it's because we're thinking about the future, which is perfectly fine. We put so much pressure on ourselves. We don't live in the present moment. Like today is today, let me deal with today, and just
deal with tomorrow
when tomorrow comes.
Yeah,
that helps. If someone said that to me, improvement.
Change.
I tell you the truth.
Because it's funny for me because I would have shared all of my business on it. I would have shut up myself, and it was in my rock bottom video where I spoke about being in a mental state and wanting for the first time not to take my life, but I was you rough enough. I was harboring the thoughts of that.
See.
You know? And people are gonna look for me and say them look like everything, but and I think sometimes as men in our society we are forced to do that. We are forced to put on the front. We are forced to dress good, look good, act good, and just not have problems. Or if you have problems, when you close the door, you deal with your problems. Yeah. And this is why we have so many, sad to say, so many violent acts now, and so many things. You have persons overdosing on drugs and alcohol.
About to say that.
You have persons who lash out for no reason. You have persons who, you have on this International Men's Day, men who abuse other persons.
Let me tell you something.
They are, you know,
It's because we bottle up so much emotions and feelings and things that we're going through. We don't know how to talk. Because society don't teach us men how to communicate.
How to
so that's number one. Number two, because we bottle it up, we're so angry. That's why, not an excuse, but that's why there's so many men who's abusive at home. That's why there's so many men with up on the road now, and if you walk past them and brushing shoes, the man want dirt you because of things that we're suppressing, and we have suppressed for years, and we don't even know. That's why there's so many angry people, as I said, so many people turn to drugs. Coping mechanisms are so real, but it's what you're using as that mechanism. You understand?
Yeah.
So when I used to party every day and have a hangover the next day, I know that Jesus of His mercy, but you threw back like anything last night. That was me trying to cope, not even knowing that that's what I was doing. I wasn't even aware of that.
And the thing is, you know, I think if you ask the average man, no, you're angry? No. You have a problem? No. Because it has become their life and they think that's how they should behave.
Because that's how we were trained
and
taught. I tell you the truth.
Oh my God.
So you see me now as a boy now that have a platform.
Me as a boy?
Yeah, me as a boy, you understand? So you see me as a boy now have a platform, hear me. Mental health, I speak up about that as much as possible.
It's very important to you.
Because, may I tell you the truth, when I talk to some of my friends, them, even relationships, some of my virgin them, girlfriend would come to me and talk about certain things. And when I go back to my virgin and say, dog, you know, I said this why and I said, brother, when I didn't realize, and I'm like, bro, you don't realize because indirectly, subconsciously, you're going through so much things, they're busting up so much, you're lashing out on your partner.
I want to know, because I want to educate persons as well. So, let's talk about significant others and family members, the persons you love. How has your mental health problems affect the way you relate to them and deal with them?
Alright, so
you find yourself being like resentful, being angry, snapping, being extra moody, not wanting to talk to them? How?
Yes and yes. Yes to the snapping, yes to the extra moody. However, my family is very big, so I'm not very close to a lot of people. I'm not close, like you know, close they talk every day. Same with friends, like my circle is very, very small.
As it should be.
Everybody that knows me, again, they know how I am. And you know, as I said before, if you maybe call me one day and I maybe send you a message, if you're not in the mood to say I'm just not in the mood to talk, or you call me, I'm gonna answer you. You know that, oh hey, I just want some time.
Yeah.
That is very important. So self-time, the time with yourself, money, you're not in a sunken place where you're so sad and depressed, but you just want to browse the net and you just want to play some music and watch some movies and you're in the conversation. So that part about it, my friends and family, them know that. Jason, I'm single bad, there's nobody but I'm single, everybody knows this. I've been single for years.
But hold on, alright, so do you think that your mental health contributed to you?
Not necessarily, it's just that I know, for me personally, I'm a very busy person and I can't offer myself 100% to anybody. So I don't want to put you in that position now where we're together and you might want to talk because you're going through a rough day and I can't offer myself to you. The air will go on now. So you see, because of that, me just chop it and keep it that day.
So do you want persons to try?
No man, nobody try. Well,
that's an invitation.
I'm not going to say about a China, okay, you see?
Boy, things. Need somebody to be things with.
That is actual factual. But if that happens, I've had my fair shares of public relationships. Everybody who know me from a long time that knows. I'm just not in that space. Right now, I'm focusing on bettering myself first. Because if I can't better myself and love myself how I should, I can't offer myself in a relationship.
That is true. That is so true. And alright, so life first, I know Kareem, you know.
Long time.
I know Kareem for years.
People wouldn't even know.
They wouldn't understand.
I'm just come up to Jamaica. Yeah, long time.
Yeah, and I know that he is heavy on faith, heavy on prayer.
Facts.
So, you educate the people them now. So when you're going through your mental struggle, how important was your spirituality and all of that?
Very important.
But no one's a religion. How important was your spirituality in that?
Everybody know me, know say I've been baptized 3 times. You know, I grew up in the church, sang on the choir, everything. So I'm very spiritual. Not just religiously though. You know, as much as gospel music helps, anything soothing helps. Praying also helps. Other than that, you know, boy with sage and meditate. Then somebody working on man. You sage and meditate and you're, you know, getting one with yourself. That is important. So even if it's just one day out of the week, you take for yourself and just know, say, here we're going on today. I don't want, and this is, let me tell you something, it's a social media too. Social media breaks are so important.
You have to know when to disconnect. Yes.
So important.
Yes.
When you know me, you know me take a little break. So when we say just a tweet this minute, no, 3:30 I'm just a tweet and then we'll come a page, there's no page. I'm gone for all 2 days. Because here's what happens. Social media can get very toxic.
Yes.
And you can be so consumed with anything else that you're seeing. I mean, I watch you, I mean, I see you drive your Benz. I'm not with bad mind.
Oh, I was about to ask
comparison.
Like you see it, and the other thing is, people want to live their life based on what they see on social media.
I'm telling you
not realizing that they're digging a hole for themselves. So when they don't achieve that goal, the same time that person achieved it, then feel as though, all right, I'm a failure, and it's back to square one.
Social media for somebody who's been in the public eye for over 7 years, it's smoke and mirrors. Me not get up and tell you that I'm hungry and I'm broke and I can't pay my phone bill. I'm not going to do that.
You had times where you were hungry, broke and couldn't pay your phone bill.
I'm not going to say hungry and broke.
You know what I mean?
But there are times like, when you know financially, down,
it wasn't there.
It's gone zero. I'm not going to get up and say, Jesus has mercy, like, how am I going to survive next month? Because I don't have it. But I'm going to
post a good picture.
And it's not about faking a life, but it's about let you see what I want you to see. It's smoke and mirrors, people. Nobody's going to get up and post your struggles.
Yes.
People have posted their accomplishments. That is fine as well. They say, me, that my yard, and I'm jobless. And I'm not where I would love to be financially. And I'm seeing you drive your Benz and you're the house and you know, you go, why not Peter?
Yeah. Why not Peter?
These things. And they had a little hotel, let me take the trips. And then I'm getting so consumed in your life because I'm like, why am I not there? Again, it's not about bad mind. It's you're human.
And you're matching up your
comparing. So you see that little breaks up there? And that's why if you cannot know that it's smoke and mirrors, and if you can't disconnect reality from social media is a real place and it's not a real place at the same time.
It's like false reality sometimes.
It is. So if you can't, it's because me know that. No matter what you post, it now move, not shape me, we not ask Christ. Because when I mind, but not everybody's there yet mentally. So especially as men especially, you go up on social media and you see a youth in a party or drink anything.
And I that you know, I saw a tweet the other day that says it is surprising to them how men try to impress their male friends more than it's like you have to just
here we go now. Me as a boy, me love look good and me love dress good and all these things. You know, and it's my parents' fault, I'm always saying. Because that's how they raised me. You understand me? So growing up now, and you know, labels and brands and them and stuff like that. So now, if I go out now and me have another good shoes that I have on right now, by the way, not a plug. And I'm not trying to be cocky, but I'm just saying. And you maybe know, I might post a picture later on Instagram and I say, boy, Kareem no work, Kareem have Gucci and Kareem wear this. Not even know if I have the Gucci shoes for about 4 years now. You understand me? And not know that right now, I can't even buy it right now.
The surface level.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We try our very best to compare our lives. And we try our very best all the time to put ourselves in somebody's shoes. And why not me? And because of that, it messes you up mentally. And everybody don't have somebody to speak to. And we're not so in tune with our mental health that it really and truly messes you up. You have a bad day, like you're good at their work, your boss and a piece off, you want to leave. right? And maybe I say, boy, at church I'm gonna loan me a work for the month. Why me can't be like them people there? Comparison, skills. Social media is also a toxic thing for your mental health. Take a break. Delete the app off your phone if you have to. Deactivate your page for a weekend.
And do we have to do for you?
Do we have to do for you?
Because it's, and let's not say, you can have bad days.
Definitely.
You can have depressing moments.
You're going to.
But it is how you cope and handle with that. And on this International Men's Day, because we like to drop some lessons, life lessons, some gems. So if you could speak to the persons who are looking now and give them some helpful tips on mental health and what to do to stay in a good space.
Pay attention to yourself.
Pay attention to yourself.
Don't just take your mood swings and you going through a dark time as it's just life. No, pay attention to patterns, pay attention to all of that. Also, as I said before, be one with yourself. Don't compare either your life to nobody's life. Live your own life, stay in your own lane. That's what mash up some of the youths them right now as men. That is our problem right now as a whole. Especially Jamaican men. Everybody's trying to compare. Don't do that. You understand me? Find one person who you feel like you can talk to. You don't have to be a therapist, because therapy is very expensive. Okay. Just find one person that you can talk to. But you see, sometimes why I say professional help is important, they can pinpoint what is happening or where it's coming from. That maybe your friend now can really see, or you can't.
Because maybe the friends are the problem.
Some of the friends them across it, you know, cut them off and drop them man, lift them man, brush them off. You can love from afar. Some of the friend them too is in the same problem too in our own life. I ask Christ.
That you see that friend thing?
Friend thing after listen up. I'm going to tell them in the point sometimes. Because I'm going more and go, I don't know. But me I tell you that sometimes your inner circle too. Because for me, when I came back last year from my sabbatical,
from your break,
from my long extended break, when I came back, I then cut off a bag of people.
You had to reassess your circle.
Trust me, and the people who've been in my life for years. I'm gonna love them, I'm gonna still love them, and I didn't even let them know what is happening. I just leave them alone. But that's also important. Some of the people in your life are the reasons to why sometimes they can't even go nowhere and you're depressed and stressed. Because sometimes when a friend them to a calling about healing things at all different times.
And you're keeping it in that dark space.
Yeah man. So sometimes reassess your life. That's so much important. That is, I think, one of the main important things today. Your circle, speak to people, be one with yourself, and do not compare with anybody else.
You know, and I'm glad that you could sit down with me. And let me say, it's a Kareem now. He did not hesitate to want to collaborate, and I love that for us. I love your support.
Trust me, always.
And I must say, on this public platform, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You are doing amazing things, and I have bought things from the boy.
Oh yes,
I have supported.
Long time.
And I love to see what you're doing.
No,
and I'm glad that we can come together to say, as Jamaican men, and even persons who are viewing internationally, you have to do what's best for you, so that you can be a better person for yourself firstly, and for the ones around you. Being a better father, a better husband, a better boyfriend, a better man in general starts with getting in touch with you. So when I did a video saying I'm man enough to cry, it's because now we shut up myself for the simplest things now, you know. If somebody say something good, shut up myself, because that is me staying in a good, positive space. So on this International Men's Day, we just want to say, men, you have to do what you have to take care of yourself.
Important.
Take care of yourself. And on this day, emotions are your emotions. You are human. Be in touch and get better for you. So Kareem, thank you so much
big up
for being here. And before you go, like, share, comment, subscribe
is important.
to Life Lessons with Jason, and also to
KAREEMBWOYATINGZ.
Yes, I'm going to post a link in the description below so you can check out the channel. Alright guys, be safe and God bless.
Bless up yourself.
Yeah man, that was an episode.